everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. Today we're going to be talking about the Mad Woman's Book Club's books of January and February. January was Faces in Water by Jeanette Frame, and February was The Quiet Room by Laurie Schiller and Amanda Bennett. So let's dive in. The Mad Woman's Book Club is a book club that is on Goodreads. I will link it down below in the doobly-doo. Please go check out the book club. It is just talking about women's experiences with mental health, mental illness, and all of those things that I focus so strongly on. I really, really appreciate what this book club does. I am not as active in the forums as I would like to be, but I do make a video every 2 months on the books that we read in those 2 months and post it here. So, Jeanette Frame, Faces in the Water. Now, this book really struck me, and it's so hard for me to put into words how this made me feel, because I was not prepared for the experience I had with this book. When I went into this book initially, I was expecting something more fictional and also something less powerful. I was expecting something that was going to stick with me for a week or so and then kind of leave. That is not the case. This has really struck me, and I can see why one of my subscribers said that they consider the author a treasure to their culture. Now, this book really honed in on something that I find to be very true in the history of society and the history of the world, which is that people with mental illness have been victimized over and over and over again. And this is true for anybody with deformity or disability as well. Those of us who are different in any way, shape, or form that is potentially making us seem less human are treated terribly, and this book really explores that in a way that is so terrifying. It talks about the idea of being in a mental health facility from the first person perspective. It is in a very stream of consciousness style. The ideas are so scary and so drawn out and so well adapted to a story, but at the same time they're so unforgettable. The ideas surrounding electroshock therapy and treatment of the mentally ill in general was so well executed and so well done. I was just beyond floored. The story follows a young woman named Istina, Istina, and she is based on Jeanette, if I am correct on this. And being that it is based on the true life of someone was terrifying and draining and scary and deplorable. It was really deplorable to think that people would ever treat another human being with the lack of human empathy that is shown to these people in these facilities. It was a draining book, it was exhausting, and it was so important. And I think that for anybody who is interested in learning about the experience of those with mental illness in facilities, this is a brilliant depiction, and it's very, very strongly recommended by myself and many others. Next, we have this. This is The Quiet Room, and it's by Laura Schiller and Amanda Bennett. This is I want to call it a nonfiction. This is the story of Laurie herself and her experience coming into schizophrenia. Now, there is no way to explain to anybody who has not experienced it before what it is like the first time you hear voices and what it is like the first time that you experience madness. There is no way to explain it. However, this book does a pretty damn good job. It is absolutely fantastic. It is well executed. It is well done. It is scary. It is raw and riveting. I thought that this book was completely, it's flawed, but in a good way. It's flawed in the way that you would expect it to be from any perspective of a person writing about their own experience, because there's really no way to be unflawed in writing this kind of story. The only reason I say that is because there's no way to make your experience 100% relatable in this kind of experience. Schizophrenia and anything else that changes your grip on reality is so devastating to a person's psyche that it is almost impossible to explain what that feels like. And when you come close to it, it's almost near perfection. But when you just can't reach it, it's completely understandable. There is no way to explain a lack of reality and a lack of understanding of your own experience. She really understands her own experience so well and so incredibly, and there's so much she puts in here of herself, of her own life, of her own just being, and it is so clear that this is a book of hard work, love, and a labor of just truth. I adored this, and I think it is fabulous. If anyone is curious about schizophrenia, this is a good place to start. So those are the two books that we've read in January and February for the Mad Woman's Book Club. I will see you guys in my next video.